sister Kim visited her because she was worried about her, and then we got the grand reveal. Kim didn't want to tell anyone beforehand because she didn't want to be talked out of it, and she hid the results because the swelling and redness were so bad that we would react badly and not be able to understand the artistic meaning. Kim is Asian American. She got Japanese symbols going down her forehead and under her eye. I don't know the meaning of them. I don't really know if I care to know the meaning of them. Kim's parents are Japanese immigrants, and according to her sister, who was nice enough to inform me of this whole debacle, this is a big no-no in Japanese culture. Tattoos have links to crime and are looked down upon. Her parents are beside themselves, and that's a whole other set of drama that I can't even begin to approach. Kim talked to me last night about it, and acted offended and started a fight because I told her it was absolutely insane of her to do this. She works in a public-facing job. She talks face-to-face with clients in the financial industry. The minute her boss finds out, the career that she went to school for will be over. She actually didn't consider her job or family or me at all and decided a long time ago that she was going to express herself freely without any concerns. I am worried about her right now. This isn't normal. Dear Lord, I really need to run, don't I? Also, in an edit, OP gives a little bit of context that Kim is 29 and he's 28. Then, 8 months later, OP posted an update. Kim broke up with me and called off a 7-year relationship when I questioned why she did this. She worked in a client-facing job for an incredibly large financial institution, and she was let go within a month of showing back up to work of getting the tattoo. I kept in contact with Kim's sister, hoping for some news. They tried to get her help because they thought she was having some kind of psychotic break. However, Kim eventually called the cops on her own family, claiming they were harassing her. After that, I decided to just walk away. Kim didn't just destroy her own life. When she broke up with me, I felt numb. I knew this wasn't the real Kim doing this. The person who made these choices was not Kim. The woman who told me over the phone that she hated my guts for not supporting her. The woman who wrote that she hated me and only ever stayed with me out of pity. That was not the woman I asked to marry me.
Salem, what are you doing?
That was someone who I
Sit.
came to find out was having a mental breakdown. I never moved on from Kim, but I came to accept what had happened. I thought I was okay until 2 weeks ago. I got a call from Kim. I was surprised because she had previously blocked my number. We didn't really talk. I didn't know what to say to her, but we decided that she would come over to my place and we talked. The tattoo is still there, but she's covering it up now with makeup. She says that when she has the funds, she's going to look into getting it removed if possible. She's lost a lot of weight since I last saw her. Alright, hold on. This is really starting to sound like drugs to me. She hasn't been able to find a new job. She'll probably need to move to a new city for that. She was no longer the Kim that I had fallen in love with. She was like a shell of her former self. Something just wasn't there anymore that used to be. Kim told me what happened, that the year leading up to the tattoo was awful for her. The stress of everything seemed to pile up more and more. However, the thing that's important is that she secretly started doing methamphetamines to keep her performance up at work. And
Oh yeah, that's a way to keep your performance up at work, hey.
Then
Good
one
old
day,
me.
she just out of nowhere decided that she hated everything in her life.
This is from New
She
Zealand?
explained why she wanted the tattoo at the time. It didn't really make any sense, but then most of what she was thinking at the time didn't make any sense. And then from there, she just lost control of everything. I won't talk about what happened after she disappeared, but it's not pretty. There are things she did that will follow her for the rest of her life. It explained a lot, but it didn't make things any better. We talked for nearly the entire night. She didn't leave my place until almost 4 a.m. Since then, she said that she wants to try to get back together with me. She admitted that she knows things can't be the same, but she wants to try. Then, 3 weeks later, OP posted an update. I learned yesterday that my ex, Kim, died of a drug overdose. Kim reappeared in my life about a year ago after breaking up with me and essentially becoming a ghost. She claimed that she was clean, but she wasn't. It was obvious she was still using meth, and my guess is that she was still using fentanyl. After I finally declined to get back together with her, she slashed my tires after causing a scene at my office. Luckily, she's been out of my life for 6 months after some cops put the fear of God into her after she broke the restraining order. Yesterday, though, Kim's sister called me to let me know that she was found dead Sunday morning. Kim's parents are quietly cremating her, and there won't be a ceremony. It seems that stealing and abusing her family since she started doing meth has made them just as detached about her as me. Or maybe they've already mourned the loss of their daughter long ago, and now this is just the end of whatever remains. Right now, I don't know how to feel. I feel like I should be sad. I knew Kim for 7 years. I was with her for 6. I was engaged to her. I lost my virginity to her. She was the only person I truly loved. I used to sit up with her and talk about the family that I wanted to have. I wanted Kim to be the mother of my kids. She sat with me as I cried when I heard the news about my mother's death. At that point in my life, she was the most important thing in the world to me. And yet, I don't feel anything. When Kim left me, I was devastated. When she came back into my life, she made me feel a combination of emotions that I can't even describe. And now, hearing the news that she did, I don't feel anything.
Hello, I have someone in here. Whoever's in here right now, you're my first ever fucking YouTube. Never mind, you're gone. That sucks. Still, good start, good start.
And this substance will
you're on this way,
your mind and
fucking
turn you into a
bang.
completely different person. And then the other equally scary thing is that this happened out of nowhere after 6 years in a relationship. You'd think that after 6 years, you really know someone, but then, no, apparently you don't. I've been with my wife for like 13 years, but, you know, it kind of makes you think, could someone just totally flip a switch one day and become a completely different person that you don't
and I have been
recognize?
through
I
it.
guess it's possible, and it's kind of scary. Our next Reddit post is from r/entitled parents. My mom doesn't care about me or my life, and most of the time she's out with her boyfriend doing God knows what.
First person to comment, I will get them a
and
$10
pay for whatever I
gift
want
card
with my
on
own money,
Steam.
Because I have a part-time job. I'm also still in school. Yesterday, I bought new headphones I'd been saving up for. When my mom saw this, she immediately asked me why I was wasting money on useless objects and told me to return it. Here's the crazy part. She got pissed and wants me to give her 65% or 60% if she's feeling generous of the money that I earn at my part-time job because I'm her kid and I owe her for raising me and paying the bills in the house that I live in. She's insane. If she wants the money so bad, she should ask her insufferable douchebag of a boyfriend for it, and not her son who's still in school. It's not like she even lends me or gives me money at all in the first place, so now I have to pay to exist. Great! Also, for context, OP is 16 and in the UK. Then, 2 years later, OP posted an update. Here's an update to my life since I posted that. When I was 16, my mom started insisting that I pay her my salary because apparently what I make is hers too. Also, she didn't have a job at the time and was living off of some government aid and her boyfriend. I didn't end up giving my mom 65% of my money, but I did end up paying for a lot of stuff for her. She also stole my money a few times because her boyfriend is an effing dickhead. She had a little incident with him. I don't know how to explain it, other than they got into a fight and they started throwing furniture at each other, which caused us to get evicted and they broke up. Woohoo! After that, she still begged me for money, but other than that, I just stayed out of her way for the most part. I did my A-levels and got a scholarship to university, and I managed to save enough so that I'm not completely broke. I now share a flat with my friend, and my mom sometimes texts me for stuff, but I mostly just ignore her. Well, short and sweet. It's nice to have a story with a happy ending every now and then. That was r/best of Redditor updates, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episode. Also,
let's see what else is happening. Guitars. Alright.
Yeah, I'm doing all I can. I'm gonna need you to send me in some backup. I don't know, it's acting sporadic and I don't even know what it is. Sir, man, I don't know, it says it's some sort of, doesn't identify or it identifies as a man, I'm not sure.
We got to talk about Ian and Anissa.
Oh, okay. Well,
what's happening with those two?
Oh my god, so much. I can't keep track of it. So we've done a couple of videos on Ian and Anissa before. There was the first one on like iDubbbz giving dating advice, which was cringe as
Oh yeah, and was the other one on how Anissa keeps cucking him, like saying bad shit about him and slandering him?
yeah, like humiliating him.
You're meant to be his wife, bitch.
Yeah, so like I said, so much is happening, right? I mean, I suppose the big thing at this moment in time is Creator Clash 3 is apparently cancelled.
That's not a big surprise. Wasn't the last one a shambles?
Yeah, there hasn't been like an official announcement yet, not at the time of recording anyway.
No, because
But some of the fighters have come out, like the fighters have come out and said, yeah, it's delayed until way into the future.
Creator Clash is delayed. Creator Clash is delayed to a date far in the future. For me, this is a huge bummer, not only because I was bringing out a bunch of my family, but I was losing weight at a lightning clip.
So he touches on a couple of things there. There's a bunch of fighters training like motherfuckers. You know, they've been training for months. There's a bunch of fans who have bought tickets, booked hotels, bought flights.
Money has been invested.
Money's been invested, yeah. So that's like the latest thing, I suppose. Now, Ian and Anissa have given up control of Creator Clash. They're no longer the owners of it. So they've like sold it or they've given it away, but they're no longer at the helm. Yeah, hi. Editing
Fuck yeah,
Barry
that's what
here.
it
I
is.
thought I'd just chuck in a quick note that the new owners of Creator Clash have revealed that Ian and Anissa were taking 34% of the event's profits. I mean, I'm not sure how much profit the event would have made. 34% of nothing is still nothing. But what do you mean of the profit? Wasn't this a charity event? Anyway, Ian has since put out a cope about it, but yeah, that's where we are.
So I imagine there's a lot of lore to get through here.
There's a lot of stuff to get through, but I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on Ian's relationship with Anissa. We're going to be armchair psychologists.
Because let's be honest, that's the most interesting part of this all.
Yeah, so let's have a look. Let's go! Okay, so there's going to be people out there who are far deeper into the lore than me. I'm probably going to miss stuff, I might get stuff wrong, but bear with me. This is a learning exercise for us.
So where are we starting?
So we're going to start with the content cop on H3.
Okay.
So there was a new content cop. Ian hadn't done a content cop in like 8 years or something, and he made a new one on his good mate Ethan. Now here's a snippet of the start of that content cop.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wake Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Wake Ethan.
This is one of the dreams. This is a nightmare.
The doctor is telling you to wake up. Ethan, wake up.
Ethan, wake up.
So all these other people are like leftist sort of hanger-oners sort of thing. They're like Hassan orbiters. They're people who like Anissa wants to be friends with. They're bread tubers.
It's cringe as fuck already.
Yeah, I know. Now this is an interesting frame. See, he's wearing the fucking Palestinian flag as a scarf.
Oh.
And this is interesting, right? Remember, this is a content...
let them have the fucking drills. Jesus.
Yeah, but check this out. What does that look like?
A Nazi symbol.
Yeah. So this is apparently Hassan's sword, right? Now there's presumably plausible deniability around this. You know, it's the Buddhist symbol, it's the fucking Hindu shit, whatever. But the H3 internet archaeologists actually dug up clips of Hassan buying this sword and actually saying, oh, I like the one with the swastika on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he clearly fucking
Goes
knows.
for the swastika one, got it.
I like this already, my friend. You're the one who owns video work.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
Let's start running the race.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, so that's a good representation of the rest of this video. It sucks dick.
They should fucking clip that shit. Fucking mold it into an actual video. Fucking put
So
cock
there's
in
this
it.
fucking intro that they've done at Hassan's place for some reason with all these other fucking cringe bread tubers.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, he takes his fucking cop uniform off, right, and just sits at his desk and just goes into this in-depth drama about fucking Israel, Palestine, and like
This is a
some beef
retard.
between him and Hassan. It's fucking shit. I didn't watch the full thing because it's so boring.
So do you know why Ian's involved in this Ethan Hassan Hassan drama in the first place?
Anissa.
It's all to do with Anissa.
Anissa
Is it?
is a Hassan dick rider. She's got the hots for Hassan and wants to be his best friend.
Why?
I don't know. But like I was saying, this whole thing is just fucking boring. It's
You
just
know that
Ian
bullshit.
sitting there explaining shit that like no one understands.
He looks so bad, man. He looks gaunt.
Yeah, this guy here sums it up perfectly. He says, I don't even like H3, but this video is awful. If you don't know the context to everything he's talking about, you'll end up completely lost. He's right. And when you do know the context, you end up realizing that this whole video is manipulative and has no substance. He never even once mentions the false CPS claims. I'll tell you about them in a sec. I thought Content Cop was supposed to be about criticizing people's content, not a platform for petty drama. Even ignoring all of that, the video itself isn't even entertaining. And then this guy responds, I feel like I've lost 10 minutes trying to understand what was going on until I just gave up. I hear you, buddy. I was the same. So what that original poster was referring to with the CPS claims is Hassan and Ethan used to do a podcast together, right?
Yeah, I remember.
And then October 7th happened. All the Israel-Gaza shit happened. And there was a rift between H3 and Hassan.
And wasn't that interesting?
Yeah, because Hassan's like a Muslim or an ex-Muslim or something, and H3 is Jewish.
And they could no longer be friends.
Yeah, and so Hassan's like whipped all these dick riders up into a frenzy, and some of them ended up calling CPS, Child Protective Services, on H3.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, and so Ethan got a visit from fucking CPS with like claims that their kids are like crawling around in dog shit and stuff. It was all bullshit.
Yesterday was the big CPS meeting.
They're investigating you, homie.
The Child Protective Services guy put that. And
Were your children taken away?
yes,
Rightfully so.
my kids are still at the house.
But Ethan was then pissed off at Ian because Ian never fucking defended him. He never like came out and said, hey, that's bullshit, I know these people, this is all crap.
Yeah.
So that, as far as I can tell, is like the crux of the beef between H3 and Ida.
That's just a step too fucking far. When you're getting kids involved, there is something fucking wrong with you.
Yeah, so anyway, the Content Cop fucking tanks, and then, as if the CBS shit wasn't enough, Ethan and Hila, is it Hila or Hila?
I'm not sure. Healer?
Hila, whatever. They get sent a box of fucking skulls.
Oh, why? What?
Well, it's clearly a death threat, right?
Yeah.
It's clearly symbolic. It's a fucking death threat. Now, apparently, and I don't know how, but apparently these are real skulls. Like you can buy
Yeah, they're real fucking
apparently
skulls.
from some fucking website.
Sicko fucking did that to us. It's not good.
Do a one-day rush on Amazon.
And just as an aside, what I've heard no one
Fucking
talking about
did
this
it.
situation is whose fucking skulls are they? Like what pork got his skull involved in some fucking cringe flame war between YouTubers?
Have you never looked at donor cards? It has an option there to donate your skull.
Yeah, because the donors don't give, like,
We would very much
you say
like to
donor,
donate your
but
skull.
donor could be anything for anyone,
Yeah, I mean,
not the
one of
government
biggest
don't give a
ended up in
shit.
H3's fucking bin.
Y'all lived a hell of a life, kid.
So anyway, Idol's making an appearance on Noah Sampson's stream. Now, Noah Sampson is like another bread tuber sort of thing. But this is them talking about the skull.
One last question. Did you send the skull? What is your opinion on the skull?
Yeah,
Did you send
that was a yes, I did.
I didn't send the skulls.
Liar.
I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that. Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that. That made it funny.
Yeah. Just like a death threat to a father, a family.
Yeah, was it a death threat?
Yeah, no.
What
You
a
said
bunch
it.
of wankers.
So for just a second there, Noah Sampson was like making sense. Yeah, it was a death threat. It was a death threat to a fucking family. A couple and their kids, for fuck's sake.
No, I'm just kidding, bro. That shit was fucking hella funny.
So Ethan gets wind of this, and this is how he reacts.
I want H3 to release the old H3. I want him to go scorched earth on these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Come on, you were funny as fuck back in the day before Hassan. Just let him come out to play.
Well, Ian and H3 were funny as fuck. I mean, I miss them both. H3's kind of coming back a bit. Like, I can see the snarks sort of coming out. It's good.
Yeah, it's when you say fuck it and stop pandering to the left.
Yeah, that's right.
In honor of Hassan, Ida was finding this funny. There's a certain piece of information that I've known about him that I've been holding my tongue because I was talking to him, we were hanging out, we just did a video, and I started asking him about his love life. I was curious because I've just never seen him, and I was like, do you get out? How do you meet people? You know, because he's kind of just like living in he was living by himself, like his parents or some shit. And he was accepting over. I was like, what's going
Talking
on, man?
about his
I'm trying to help my boy out.
That was like his golden era.
In his golden era, yeah. And he told me that he had never had a girlfriend. He had never been with a girl. He almost practically never even talked to a girl romantically. And this was right before he started dating Anissa. He was a virgin. He had never even kissed a girl. And then he met Anissa, who took his virginity and everything else.
Oh, the bitchiness. I love it. This is Mean Girls, man.
He's fucking right though. Then he met Anissa, who took his virginity and everything else. I mean, these people have got a podcast called She Ruined My Career, and it's not ironic, ironically.
He's like, alright, you want to laugh at someone sending me skulls, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I'm about to expose your virgin ass.
Yeah. Now look, there's nothing wrong with being a virgin at like fucking 20, whatever it is. But like,
It's funny because it all falls into place, doesn't it? Like the change in Ian, everyone thinking Anissa is a big succubus bitch.
yeah.
She took his V card.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with being a virgin until like later in life. But like, don't just immediately simp for some bitch like Anissa. Fuck me.
Right, so it all makes sense. Idubbbz owes his allegiance to Anissa. She took his dick's virginity.
Yeah, and he's just fucking latched on. You know those latcher honourers?
Oh yeah, it's like he didn't get pussy for such a long time and he finally got pussy. He married the first chick he got pussy from.
Yeah.
And now he does anything she wants.
So this is a guy called More Pegasus. I think he sums it up pretty well.
I think the real point he's trying to make is that Idubbbz was starved for attention, and then when he got Anissa, he would basically do anything to make her happy, and I'm guessing he changed his entire personality for her, and he would bend to her every whim, and essentially became a hollow version of his former self, and that you gotta watch out for.
Okay, look. You get a woman and you want to be into every woman, all that, whatever you just said, but sometimes you want to. You find someone and you think they're going to make your life a whole lot better. You feel warm in their presence. You feel like you're going to accomplish things you've never accomplished before. And then what? They fuck you over. I miss the old days. Like, I miss before my grandparents' days. I miss shit that I never even had. Because personally, I want a relationship with someone where we are equal halves of the same whole. What happens, we both look at each other and be like, Jesus fucking shit, what a fucking idiot. Or, look at this retard, you know what I mean? And to the person that has just joined, welcome in. You are essentially the first person on my YouTube stream ever. So comment and I'll send you a $10 gift card to Twitch. Steam, sorry. Oh, and you're gone, which means I guess you're not getting shit. Oh well, what is? Let's continue.
Right? Never let your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife or whatever change the real you.
Yeah, well said.
Well said.
So what you've got to understand about Anissa, right, is that she craves, and I'm going to use the term, influences. She has to be with an influencer. She has to sort of ladder climb.
She wants to be a YouTube slut star.
Yeah, she was with some guy called Arcadian. Now, he was like a League of Legends streamer. She went to TwitchCon with Arcadian in 2016, right?
Right, were they dating?
They were dating, yeah. And that is where she met Idubbbz, right? So she immediately latched onto him. So she fucking monkey branched.
When she met Ian, she's like, how many subscribers do you have?
Yeah, exactly. Now, she got together with Ian pretty quickly. They became a thing. And then in 2017, a year later, she was trying to get into fucking Chris Ray Gun's pants.
Do you eat Lacey's ass? What the fuck? We're not having this fucking conversation. Wait, look at, I asked my chat yesterday, I said, do you think Chris eats Lacey's ass? And everybody was like, yes. There was like no hesitation. It was like 100% yes. Jesus Christ. Do you eat Lacey's ass?
Ugh, what
anyway, you get the vibe that like Anissa is just like a monkey brancher. Like I said, she sort of tries to go from one influencer to another. Like at the moment, she's obsessed with Hassan because Hassan's like the hot chick lefty bread sugar guy.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, she gets together with Ian, right? They're a thing for a few years, and then she starts an OnlyFans.
You guys started dating. You decided to make an OnlyFans. That was like years after you guys were already together, right?
Yeah, we were together for 4 years, pretty much at
Yeah.
that point.
And so then, when you made that OnlyFans, there was like a huge.
A lot of people cared, which was very surprising.
You're a whore. You're a whore. Just admit it. You're a whore. You whore yourself out online. You whore yourself out in front of your family and your friends. You're a whore, plain and simple. Just admit that you're a whore and a slut and a harlot.
Yeah. So what happened? I mean, in your perspective.
Well, from my perspective, it was basically like I think I had given off this persona of like not liking promiscuous women or like thought e-girls, sluts, whatever you want to say.
Did he just call Anissa a slut?
That was the best backhanded compliment ever.
Thoughts, sluts, you know, people thought that I don't like them, but actually, I mean, I'm with Anissa. Of course I like sluts and thoughts and e-girls.
A married one.
Yeah. Wow.
She is so filth. I just gotta say, the haircut, I bet her vagina smells like musty old fish.
What's that saying we use about sluts from like the 90s? Not that Anissa's from the 90s, but their pussies smell like ciggies and Rexona.
Yeah. It's like, you know when you go to your grandma's house or something, and for some reason they all put pot puree in the toilet to make it smell better, and then you go in there and have a massive shit, and then it smells like shit and pot puree.
So anyway, this is where we start to see like the decline of iDubbbz, right? He starts to become like a husk of his former self.
Yeah, he gets shelled out.
Yeah, and I think it started with that apology he did a few years ago.
So many of these YouTubers from back then did that. They were all edgy, and then they felt the need to pander to the left because YouTube was cracking down on edgy content.
Yeah, well I think in iDubbbz's case it was more Anissa. He was getting pussy and he like bent to her every whim, and I think she got in his ear and said, look, we got to be like good people. I want to be friends with Hassan. You can't be calling people niggas, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say this is out of the goodness of her heart. This is purely to pander to what was popular on YouTube.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos. Casual racism is still racism. Casual bigotry is still bigotry.
Oh, come on. Casual racism and casual bigotry are fucking funny.
This is just so painful to watch. I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, well, this is not in order. I kind of chopped it up to get the best bits. But yeah, we went from fucking epic content cops. Like, everyone would just wait for the next content cop because they were fucking amazing. To this.
I don't feel like a lot of this content represents me as a person. At least not anymore. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy, and I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32 I've acquired empathy.
Come on, Ian. You can have empathy and still make entertaining content.
Be a funny.
Yeah.
Look at that video. I'm sorry for all the bigotry. And I'm just thinking to myself the whole time where the camera's cut short at his waist. Anissa's below with his balls in her hand with a vice-like grip, forcing